Yo, you are listening to Everyday Superpower, the place where we learn about body language. That's non-verbal communication. We talk human communication, evolutionary, biological, imprints on our state of being and how that affects how we can attract people in this day and age, how we repulse people outside of our own conscious awareness. How sick is that? Now, two links down in the description. One of them leads you to the official, boom, catalogue of, dictionary, I don't know what I've called it, the catalogue of body language, I believe it's called. It's a playlist that I've compiled myself of my own YouTube content spanning the A to B of learning how to read people outside of their awareness. Okay, click that, and then if you would like, there is a secondary link to the Patreon as to where we will join forces to watch, assess, analyze, observe real dates in real time with real people, and I will show you the game. I'll show you the ins and outs of attraction and repulsion, okay? Now, just be confident. Just be confident, bro. Girls like confidence. You just need to be confident. How many people have heard that? How many people have heard that? Isn't that a cliche bit of information? If anything, it's mocked, it's memed in some particular spaces. The red pill community will say, yes, you do need to be confident. Whereas the black pill space will just be like, you don't need to be confident. It's not about confidence. And how can I be confident if I, as a man, am not chosen? Due to my genetic makeup, due to this, that, and the third, okay? Just be confident. It's incredibly vague, it's general, and it seems to be the easy way out as far as anybody giving relationship advice is concerned, okay? So, what does it mean and how do you do it? Like, realistically, how do you gain confidence? How can you be confident with women? Now, I'm going to give you a few examples, hopefully, and we're going to talk reality here. You can't psych yourself out unless you went through some degree of hypnotic, subconscious rewiring, which is definitely possible, if you utilize certain mechanics and influences to do so, but we're not going to talk that. That's some deeper game, which we'll get into later, but we're not going to be able to flick the switch and become confident at something. If I can't play the guitar very well, I'm not going to be very confident at playing it unless I was delusional. So that brings us on to the main gist of what I'm trying to say. Competence is synonymous, to a degree, with confidence. There is a strict parallel. So you will be confident given you are competent in what you are doing. And what do I mean in that? I mean, the guitarist who has played guitar for 10 days, it may potentially, generally, statistically speaking, be less confident than the guitarist who has played guitar consistently and regularly for 10 years. Because the 10-year guitarist is competent. They have been through the struggle, they have failed, they have learned, they have practiced, and through practice there is no losing. Through practice you either win or you learn, and you do better on and on and on in a linear progression to the way to the top, where you fail near to never because you're so educated. Competence is confidence. Oh, I've got no confidence with women. Well, that's okay. Maybe 10 dates you might have a little more confidence, and through that you might be a little more competent, as they are both synonymous. I wish I was a better dancer. I'm just not confident on my 2 feet. Well, that would change, given you got stuck in, got over the embarrassing initial stage. Now, don't get me wrong, this is the stage nobody wants to go through. Everybody wants to be at the top, but nobody wants to start at the bottom, and that is the necessity of beginning. I want to be more confident with women. How so? Do you want to be able to talk more fluid to women? Do you want to be able to understand women? then you need to start embarrassing yourself and learning. Unfortunately, you're not going to be confident. That's okay and that is natural. But the thing is, it gets easier. Apply it to anywhere in your life. I used to work in sales. I couldn't make a sale at the start. I couldn't read people with ease. I couldn't understand what it was to sell somebody a product. I looked through my eyes and I couldn't look through theirs. And I was selling a product off of what I perceived as its benefits, as opposed to how it would be deemed appropriate for that individual through their own two eyes. I had to fail and learn the hard way, the trial by fire. Now the thing is, there's a great big biological setback to you going and engaging with women on a whim and trying to put your best foot forward and engage with them on a level as to where hopefully you establish trust and attraction, right? That's a little more daunting and, evolutionarily speaking, a little more frightening, because you may have a reputation at stake as to where more women will deem you unacceptable purely due to the reaction you've received. You may feel an unconscious fear towards engaging with this woman in this manner purely as someone of her tribe, her potential partner, might be a big burly tribal leader who will come and get you. There's so many hardwired unconscious influences that create this hard start to the process that you may not find elsewhere. When you're learning how to play the flute, the guitar, you're there by yourself, you can take your time and it's an inner experience. Whereas when it comes to just be confident, just be yourself, you have to put yourself out there on the firing line and be hurt to your fullest. And that is to potentially have you, your character, your perception of yourself destroyed, shattered, turned down, rejected. And nobody wants to be rejected, right? But that reality of rejection is such, and that experience of rejection is such a harsh experience to one's spirit, soul, psychology, that either you run away, you flee, or you solidify and you try again. And not only do you develop a steel skin, you develop an understanding. And what is that? Confidence will start to develop. So consider this: you've never approached a girl before, you've never tried to speak to a girl for 5 seconds longer than you believed you should have. So you tried to prolong a conversation this time, right? Whether it goes right or wrong, you've now tried it. So think about it. You've gone from absolutely zero confidence to, in a way, 100% confidence. Okay? Now the scale goes above 100%. But you've gone from 0 to 100 because now you have done it. Right? And now you do it again. And on that second occasion, right, you have developed a more competent perspective on how you engage, purely as now you can assess and associate the situation with the last time. And let's say both of them were failures. Now you know how you failed twice. In a perfect world, your brain and your survival mechanism is going to react in a manner as to where it believes, wow, that was quite traumatizing, right? I, as a human being, need to procreate. I need to avoid that happening again. And then you go to the third person and you start to see how this is essentially practice. Now, you shouldn't believe that you're going to win. You should just go in there with an open mind, a free spirit, understanding that this is just part of the process. Okay? Like you going to the Muay Thai gym where you're learning how to do Thai kickboxing, right? You're going to fall on your ass a couple of times. You're going to trip up, you're going to fall over, you're going to try skipping, you're going to trip over yourself. You're going to throw up in the toilet because you're not used to the cardiovascular activity. But even though it was a harsh experience, you learn to appreciate the excitement and you go back to the gym. same week, the next week, whenever suits you, right? But understand that the person who goes to that gym 5 times a week is going to improve on a better rate than somebody who is there once a week, once a month, and stays stagnant. So this is how you develop competence, and how that competence is confidence. And you apply this over any field, any skill, any technical capability you wish to develop. How do I be more confident? Well, I can't just pull it out of nowhere. I have to go and get shot several times through the heart for me to create a recognition of the pattern that is emerging, of these harmful experiences that is happening to me. I want to avoid it. I've touched the flame, I've burnt myself. I'm not going to do that again. So I'm going to do the other thing. And then the other thing works, and we go deeper into this communication and conversation and this engagement. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm telling you, just be confident. And when I'm saying just be confident, what I mean is force that confidence. You're not going to be confident, but you will be, as you bump 1, 2, 3, 4, 500, 10,000, 1 million repetitions of putting yourself out there in the firing line. Yeah? And on a final note, if you trained to be a fighter, you go to one class and you learn how to throw a punch to some degree. You are surrounded by it. You see the technicality. You can't necessarily do it at that point, but you have gone one step beyond the general population. And through you doing that once, you now become a better fighter than everybody else. So if everybody on this planet is feeling the same pull away, the same social anxiety from doing what you're doing, you by default are going to become incredible in comparison to the general population within your first attempt, definitely by your 10th attempt, most definitely by your 100th attempt, and you can be that incredible seducer you always believed you were, because you are. You just need to do it. I'm signing out. Peace.